Well, we got to continue to practice the crap out of it. We also have to do a better job of protecting said person with the ball, whether that's the quarterback, whether that's the running back, or the receiver. And we're all responsible for the security of the football, and starts with the person who has it, and then it falls on the people that are blocking. And again, we'll continue to rep it, and if we have to put two hands on the football, and when we're going through there, that's what we'll have to do. The only thing I know how to do is to continue to practice it and work it, but then also, maybe it's not so much the person that you see, it's the one you don't see. And there was a few opportunities that we can show them here in a little bit of that. And yes, the person is responsible for taking care of the football. But again, the other people are also have a critical job in ball security.
Mike, understanding that production can be a result of what the defense gives you, what can your receiver group do to be more productive going forward?
Well, I just think keep doing what they've been doing. There's opportunities, and we just have to be able to find them. When things are there, just, again, make the plays that you're supposed to make. You can see that there's opportunities, and, whether that's an in-cut by Kayshawn on a 3rd and long, or inward breaking routes by Diggs, those are all positive things. And, again, you can track stats, and we can track wins or separation and man coverage and match. Again, there's one football, and when the opportunities are there, just to continue to make them, and then how well they play with the football, without the football. And I think saw a good example of Diggsy there helping Ramondre, spring him for a big play. Something that didn't happen in Miami, and was able to come back and adjust and take the coaching points and get the look exactly how he needed it, and helped him spring for an explosive gain. So those are all positive things. And I know as receivers, they want to catch touchdowns, they want to catch the ball, but we just got to continue to spread the ball around and take it where take the football where it's supposed to go, when it's supposed to go there, and timing and rhythm and ball placement.
Mike, you mentioned last night how you guys are going to need Ramondre this season. How do you balance holding someone accountable and valuing the message that might send to your team versus making sure you still have a guy on board, in rhythm, etc., when you do feel like you need him down the line?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to need him. We're going to need everybody. And got talent, skill set. It's a good protector. We trust him in protection, and we'll get through this. And I think a lot of it is just the consistency and continuing to build confidence. But you have to go out there and do it. How I manage that from an accountability standpoint, I would say as of now, I don't know what that'll look like later on the week as far as how we distribute the reps.
You did, just to follow up quickly, I remember it was your introductory press conference, you talked about accountability and how you kind of need to know guys before you can hold them accountable, because you don't want there to be pushback.
No, I mean, I don't know. I think to get to
know guys well enough now to hold them accountable right now.
Yeah, I mean, I do. But I also got to try to balance, winning football games and gaining yards and scoring points and, all those things, right? So there's we just got to get it fixed, right? And I know there's no easy fix, and the only thing I know how to do is work, and we'll work at it. And if I feel like, or we feel like that it's, in the best interest to limit those opportunities, then we'll have to do that.
How do you handle the mental part of that, Mike? Listening to the Hall of Fame speeches, you hear Julian say, "This guy believed in me," and when I was down and things like that. How important is that?
Well, I mean, we believe in them, or they wouldn't be here. We believe in them, each and every one of them. And again, just putting them in the positions that they feel comfortable and that there's trust, and they have confidence to do their job. And then as a professional athlete, like you have to be willing to risk something to get something out of it. I think that it's easy to sometimes second guess yourself. So, Ramondre's, I'm sure, very aware of fumbling, and Antonio and Drake, everybody that fumbled. And so we'll have to come back with a resolve to go. And what happens on one week doesn't necessarily guarantee it's going to happen the next week, and it can't. And I'm positive that it won't.
You're relatively early in the week, but do you anticipate having Terrell back with you guys at the end of this weekend?
We'll kind of see where things are here going forward here in the next couple of days. But he's Terrell's around. We just got to make sure that we're trying to build some consistency with how we do things.
Drake mentioned on his fumble that he was trying to make a play to Travion Henderson. I believe against the Raiders he made a similar play where he was getting taken down and flipped it out. How do you walk that line, and where is the line with a young quarterback?
Well, I mean, I think we've heard it here before, but everybody's trying to make a play. We just need to make them good plays, and not putting the ball at risk, and understanding that there's a timing element to protection, and that we certainly don't have all day based on the amount of people that we keep in protection. So I think that's critical, that once it gets past the first or second read, that we're going to have to be ready to get rid of the football, or make sure that we're securing it at the end of the play.
Mike, we saw a lot more of Jack Gibbons and Charles Woods in this game. How do you think they held up with the increased opportunities?
Well, we played good defense and got stops when they were in there. I think they were okay, So, we were going to rotate, and when we rotated, we started, I don't think it was just those two players, solely, but we started playing good defense and settling down. So I think, we just stuck with it.
Mike, when you were there on Saturday, Mike, at the Hall of Fame, two obviously central parts of key parts of this organization. What did you get from what both of them represented and what they said?
Well, I think with Coach Parcells is just, he made his way of making connections with players and, building a program, I think is something that I've always tried to take from that. And again, I know that, practices were different, and as the years go on, they were harder, and they were 3-a-days back then, and they practiced for 3 hours at a time. I've told those stories before, but I think just the foundation, when I got here, a lot of those players had been here under Coach Parcells, and so they helped me come from one organization to another and understand what the expectations were and kind of how they were, brought up in his system, and what he, things that he felt like were important. And for Jules, I just think that everybody, I think it's the journey to the NFL and his success was about work and perseverance, and having a belief and just continuing to work and taking advantage of your opportunity, building confidence on special teams, building and being versatile. And obviously the connection that he made with his players, with his teammates, was something that I took from his time up there.
Mike, you won the toss and took the ball. What made that the right decision for the team this year?
Well, I don't know if it was the right one or not. We didn't get a great kickoff return, and we fumbled. So, but the idea was that maybe we could get a good return, and that we could get off to a fast start. Worked in Miami, didn't work so good yesterday. So, just try to keep figuring out ways to help us there early in the game to get off to a good start.
Mike, Douglas play. Your final question, was that route run to the proper depth at the very end?
Well, we need to probably get one revolution further, but even if we don't, we just have to knife. When we get between two defenders, again, we had great examples in Miami where we split those guys, and that's a decision that's for the team. And we can't circle them up. Mac had one earlier where he tried to do the same thing. Like, we need to knife between two defenders. It's a little different if you're in man coverage and it's one guy, but when there's two guys, we have to take the yardage that's there and be able to knife and, extend drives.
The Terrell situation, getting into the personal stuff. Is he feeling better? And you've, in the last 2 weeks, mentioned you want more consistency in that operation. Does that mean that maybe you're toying with the idea of Terrell in an advisory role more than a play calling role?
Well, I don't know if I'm ready to say that yet. I'm just, making sure that, one, his health is first and foremost, and that's critically important. And again, just making sure that the consistency is there so that we know what to account for and plan for. And, I don't want to say that it's fluid, but, we'll see where things are. And if he's going to continue to help us, I just don't know based on, the availability, what that's going to look like. So, I don't, the communication and everything that we've been doing over there has been good. His ability to help us has been really good. But I also don't want to go back and forth. I don't think that's good for anybody either, right? So appreciate you asking about Terrell. But right now we'll just kind of, I would say, moving forward, kind of be where we were last week. That's where I would anticipate it being this week.